majority ruled that challengers who had appealed the decision against California's gay marriage ban, of course Prop 8, lacked the legal standing to proceed. The ruling allowed an earlier appellate decision that Prop 8 was unconstitutional to stand. Attorney David Boies, who helped bring the case against Prop 8, looked back to the court's ruling in Lawrence versus Texas that invalidated state sodomy laws and said there was more to come.
Our plaintiffs now get to go back to California and, together with every other citizen of California, marry the person they love. And the next step is to translate the promise that was in Lawrence and that was reaffirmed today in the DOMA case, that every citizen in every state has the right to marry the person that they love.
And for more, we're delighted to be joined on this rather triumphant and joyful day by Jean Podrasky, a gay rights activist with a family tie to a Supreme Court justice who voted to strike down DOMA but not Proposition 8. Jean is Chief Justice John Roberts' cousin. And Jean, welcome to Viewpoint. What a pleasure to have you with us tonight.
Thank you.
Let me start by asking you, where were you when the two decisions came down today, and how did you feel when you heard about it?
Well, remember that I live on the West Coast. I live in San Francisco. So the decisions came down at 7 o'clock my time. I was still in my pajamas on my couch with my partner watching TV and watching SCOTUS blog.
Wow. Were you surprised by the Prop 8 ruling? And what does that do for you personally as a California resident?
I was stunned. I had no idea Roberts would split the rulings like that. I was absolutely stunned. And of course, now that Prop 8 is overturned, I can now get married.
So what was your response when Prop 8 passed? A lot of people forget, on the night Barack Obama was first elected to the White House, I was at a party hosted by a lesbian friend that evening in Los Angeles. And as everyone was celebrating upstairs, I was downstairs going online to see about the fate of Prop 8. We forget that that dark law passed the same night that this president was elected to office. What did you do back 5 years ago when this first happened?
No, it was really almost instant. We cheered for Barack Obama. We were celebrating, and it seemed almost immediately after that it passed. It was a kick in the stomach. It was awful. And we knew days before that it was going to be close. So we knew this was not a landslide in either way. We knew it was a nail biter, but I absolutely was devastated.
Well, I've heard rumor that there is somewhat of a gay and lesbian activist contingent in San Francisco. How did you feel when you saw that your cousin, Chief Justice Roberts, declined to join the majority in the ruling that struck down the Defense of Marriage Act?
Okay, we're talking about DOMA now.
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned I was stunned when the rulings, he did one in our favor and one against. And I want to say that I'm obviously disappointed. I wish he had voted the other way on DOMA, and I do believe he's sticking with his conservative values.
He did, I understand, invite you and your partner to attend the hearings at the Supreme Court?
I want to kind of correct that.
Please.
I asked for the tickets, and he agreed. He let me have the tickets. So it wasn't as if he were just divvying out tickets left and right. I asked for them, and he gave them to me. So I will always feel quite honored that he didn't veto me. He did give us the tickets.
I think it's a great piece of history in this story. Now, you told the LA Times today that you now plan to marry your partner later this year at Lake Tahoe. So I have to ask the million-dollar TV question. Do you plan to invite your cousin, Chief Justice Roberts?
We just learned of this ruling today, and I know I absolutely will invite family, but I can't say that the guest list is printed out yet.
Okay. That was very diplomatic. You should work in government. Civil rights activist Jean Podrasky, great to have you with us.